Today's video is sponsored by Cosplayentertainment. Stick around to see more about this Cosplayentertainment Tank M3. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Propway. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how I made this Halo energy sword. And this video is very special as it marks the very first time I am building a prop from a video game. I think. I don't think I've done any props from a video game before. Have I? No, I don't think I have. As all of you know, I mostly do Marvel and DC props, but not today. I'm actually a really big Halo fan. I started playing with Halo 2, and then Halo 3, Halo 4, and then I skipped a few, but I've recently got back into Halo Infinite, and I am just having a blast, and I could not resist building something from the game. And honestly, I'm surprised it took me this long. But anyways, we are building the energy sword. I'm super excited to show you guys how I did it. It's actually a pretty simple build, and I'm super happy with how it came out, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Before we get started, if you want to help out the channel, feel free to like this video, leave a comment, and of course, consider subscribing for more cool builds coming soon. Also, let me know in the comments if you're a Halo fan. There are so many other cool props from the Halo universe, and if you guys want to see that kind of stuff, let me know. Alright, without further ado, let's get on with the tutorial. As always, I started off by sketching out a template. So I drew one half of the sword on a piece of cardboard, and then after I cut that out, I traced that shape onto a sheet of 1/16 inch thick clear polycarbonate. The reason I used such a thin sheet was because I don't have a tool that can cut any thicker than this, and my laser cutter wouldn't fit a piece this long. So I used a pair of metal shears, which are super strong, but a bit difficult to cut with, especially on plastics. I can't 100% recommend cutting it this way, but it does work. Here you can see what the overall shape will look like. So now I just use that cutout piece to trace out a few more pieces. We need a total of 4. After we have our pieces cut, we can remove the protective layers on all the pieces. The next step is to cut out pieces of this 1/8 inch thick white polyethylene, specifically HDPE. I traced out the edge of the sword shape and cut a thin strip out using the metal shears again. This was probably 5 times harder to cut than the polycarbonate, so if you have a jigsaw, bandsaw, or laser cutter, I would give that a try. Now that we have all the hard physical labor done, we can start assembling. So I sanded down the edges because that's where the glue will be applied. I use this clear Gorilla Glue, probably not the best option considering it literally says not recommended for use on polyethylene or polypropylene plastics. And I didn't catch that until after I already used it, but everything turned out fine. Maybe try a faster setting super glue if you build your own. Then I just put the pieces together and clamp them along the entire length. What we basically do is make a sandwich with these pieces by placing the white strip between the 2 clear sheets. So while we let those pieces dry, let's talk about this amazing Tank M3 smartwatch by Cosplayentertainment. I've never been a smartwatch wearer, but I needed a watch that I could wear in any situation and not worry about scratching or breaking it. And the tough, rugged build of the Tank M3 was absolutely perfect. It's a military grade watch that's heat, water, dust, and shock resistant. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a perfect match for a Halo Spartan. Now going into a bit more of the features, you got all your basics covered, like tracking your heart rate, sleep patterns, step count, text and call notifications, and much more. One of my favorite parts is being able to change the display to one of their cool designs. It's almost like I'm putting on a new watch each time I change that display. The M3 is stronger, sleeker, and functions smoother than any previous Cosplayentertainment watch. It's perfect for the office, the gym, outdoors, honestly wherever you want. If you're in the market for a smartwatch or just a powerful everyday watch in general, then click the link in the description and use the discount codes to get your own Tank M3 by Cosplayentertainment. And now, back to building the sword. I have these 2 small strips of the white HDPE here. These are going to act as spacers between the 2 thin clear sheets and will be what the handle will attach to. So we are just going to glue those into place and then drill a hole straight through the entire piece. So as I just mentioned, we now need to build the handle. The handle is a very odd, organic type shape that's perfect for an alien. So to make things a little easier on me, I just 3D modeled it using Onshape and printed it on my Artillery Sidewinder X2. You can download this 3D file that I made for free in the description below. I split it in half to make printing a bit cleaner, and it helps keep a smooth finish that required no supports. I just pop it right off the printer, and I use super glue to combine the two halves together. And now we can just clamp it while it dries. We are now about to work on the most important part of this energy sword, the LED lights. Without it, we just have a plastic paperweight, but with it, we have the most feared weapon in all of Halo. I am using these cob LED strips, and you want to make sure you use these cob LEDs because the light looks much better. The light gets diffused way more than other styles of LED strips, so it looks more uniform and you don't see individual spots of light. I got these off Amazon and they came in with a USB end, but I cut that off since we'll be wiring it ourselves. So to install it, we're going to take our handle, and you'll notice the sides of these have gaps with a hole that leads to the center of the handle. This is where we'll insert the cables through on both ends. Once the cables are in, we can squeeze the sword halves into the handle until the holes line up. Then we'll just use some screws to secure them into place. Before we move on, you'll want to make sure you twist the red wires together and the black wires together from the LED strips. This will effectively make it one LED strip and will be easier for wiring and soldering later. So now that the handle is screwed in, we're going to start super gluing our LED lights onto the edge of the plastic. Because there's a gap between the two clear sheets, the LED lights should fit nicely between them as you glue it in, or you could also use some temporary tape or clamps to hold the lights in place. I'll now install this button switch into the handle and start wiring and soldering the circuit together. This is just a basic circuit that involves a 9-volt battery, a switch, and LED strips. And once everything is soldered together, you can paint your handle whatever color you want, and you now have a beautiful, light up Halo energy sword. One thing I noticed was that my sword was a little wobbly and the ends didn't line up evenly. So I glued in this little clear plastic piece right between the tips to give it a stronger, more stable feel. And this helped a ton and made it so I could swing this sword around safely without it wobbling. And now we have a finished sword. Thank you all so much for watching this tutorial. I know this is very different than my typical foam builds, so I got a chance to experiment with different materials, different techniques, and I myself learned a ton, and I hope you guys are inspired to try something new today. Again, if there's anything from the Halo universe that you want me to build, I already have a few things in mind. Write it down in the comments below, or if you have any other prop ideas, Marvel, DC, other video games, let me know and we'll see if I can get to it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.